Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching. I had a couple people request a breakdown of this holding penalty from the Super Bowl. So let's go ahead and get after it. Obviously, you're at 3rd and 8, a minute 54 left. You've got to convert here, or you're kicking a field goal. You're at the 15-yard line. Not a big deal on kicking the field goal. So let's look at the mistake that Bradbury made. You're going to have Juju up here on this left-hand side running a whip route where he's coming in and then planting that foot in the ground and driving towards the sideline. And if you remember earlier in the Super Bowl, in the end zone, they ran kind of that jet motion route called corn dog, where it caught the corners peeking at defensive alignments, trying to shift. And Bradbury earlier in this game was on a slant with Juju and had to hold him because he beat him, and it was a no call. Juju gets in the same position. If you notice right here, that's Bradbury's green glove. He's wearing dark gloves, makes it easy to see. Some of the Patriots defensive guys are saying Bill Belichick would never allow us to wear dark gloves against light jerseys. For this reason, it makes it easy to break down in the replay. You see the tug on the jersey. You see Juju's body language. If you look at his feet over here and his body, his arms are back and his feet are back. Normally, if you're making that shift and you're driving back towards the out of bounds line, I think you need to be squatting your hips, turning, and you're going to be turning that upper body around. And he doesn't do that here. I think because that hold, and then he turns that into a wheel route because of the hold, and then there's a second one there. I'm not sure 100% on these rules, but there's no such thing as an uncatchable ball for a holding penalty. If this was a pass interference, it would be an uncatchable ball. I saw so many people, not only just in the Twitter space and internet idiot land, but also pundits on ESPN, Fox Sports, all this sort of stuff, talking about how it was an uncatchable ball. Completely non-factor in this situation, as Jocko Willink would say. But I do believe that because of that penalty, and it was kind of a double penalty. He grabbed the jersey, then he tried to get hip control and pull himself back in. And I believe Mahomes saw that and threw that ball to force the referee to throw the flag, because Mahomes is getting sacked. That's another thing. If we back it up, Mahomes ball's out right now, and he's getting sacked. That's the end of the play. He doesn't have any other options. He could have checked it down to Jet McKinnon right here, but he's covered. He's not going to make any bones on that. So Mahomes throws it to where he thinks he's going to bait that penalty out. And to me, that's just a kind of 1,000 IQ play by Mahomes to bait that out. As soon as he threw it, Mahomes was pointing. He was calling it out.
Hang on, there's a penalty. 24.
Yeah, that's worst case.
Right here, this is where I believe the momentum of his. He has full jersey right there. You can see that jersey bowing out. And I think that's where the acceleration, that drive off, allows Bradbury to stay with Juju there. Because Juju would beat Bradbury earlier in this game on a couple different routes.
You'll see James Bradbury.
And then this is the second one right there. And now, 100% agree, this is a ticky-tack call. They were not making calls like this early in the game. But to anybody that thinks like it's not a penalty or it shouldn't be called, I think you have to think of two things. Number one, it's clearly and obviously a penalty by the rules. Second off is in the scope of the game and in the situation, how do you want to see this played? I think two things happen here as well. First, it was a double penalty. You had the hold in the right hand, and then you had, as Juju turns it into kind of a wheel route from a whip route, Bradbury grabs his hip, tries to hold him in here so he can gain position.
He grabs him.
And it's like two holdings on one play. Then Mahomes, seeing that, throws the ball and forces the call. Because if you're not the rule on the defensive holding is when you impede the route, runner from getting to the spot, and that's exactly what happened there. And because Mahomes overthrew that ball, that baited the ref into saying, okay, if he wasn't held, he might have been able to get to that ball. Therefore, it's a defensive holding.
On this stage,
I think it's a brilliant play by
I think
Mahomes.
you let him play. Obviously,
He's
Mahomes thought he
he's
saw it.
immediately
I think-
calling it out. I think this is very similar to when you have like a defensive, offsides and they're coming across and you got a free play, so you chuck it deep and just see what happens. I think this is very similar to that sort of thing where Mahomes sees he has a penalty and he needs to bait that penalty out by throwing the ball over the top.
It seemed to me at the initial break he grabbed the back of the jersey and pulled it. If we see that, I think that is a hold.
But it's this angle that you see it. Right there. You see, again, he's got a pretty good tug going on, and the angle of his body, of Juju's body, just doesn't look like someone who's free to plant and move. And as you can see here, good field. There's no slipping. He's not throwing up grass.
See James Bradbury.
Both players have good footing there. So, to anyone that might think that maybe that was an issue, why he had some funny body movement there, that wasn't it. It was the hold. It threw off his momentum of his body control, getting his hips around, and that's what caused that. So, just a simple review from a casual fan. Anybody that was wondering what happened, it's pretty simple to see. Once you slow it down, look at all the angles. It's a call that the ref had to make. He held him twice. The ball was thrown to him. He was impeded on his route. Bradbury even admitted it afterwards. Yeah, I was holding him. I was hoping he just wouldn't see it. It is what it is. But I agree, it wasn't consistent with the way the refs called the game. The entire game, I would like to hear an explanation from the referee crew as to maybe, yes, it was the double grab. Yes, it was the throw. What made them call that penalty as a little ticky-tack compared to the rest of the Super Bowl. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a good one.